Hey, American Contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked out American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the pertaining from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Happy Monday. Welcome back to our daily forecast videos. Sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor. You guys can go ahead and check them out in the description below. And for today, we have some big time hail possible through the Minnesota and Wisconsin area. We're going to talk a little bit about who's at risk and what that risk looks like exactly. And then into tomorrow, same risk area basically possible. Minnesota, you guys are sticking into that hail risk area, so we're going to talk a little bit more about what you can expect for that. And then finally, last but not least, we're going to land back into the tropics, into the Atlantic Ocean to see what that disturbance is doing out there and what it looks like into the next couple of days. But first, before we get into our weather, let's talk a little bit about our upcoming events. So the first one of those is the NTRCA Mini Trade Show that is in Grapevine, Texas at the Grapevine Convention Center on August 4th. So if you guys are in the Texas area or if you're just wanting to take a visit out there, you guys can come see us at the NTRCA Mini Trade Show. And then after that, it is going to be the Thunder Road Race for Recovery. This one is coming up quick, September 15th, and that is in Norman, Oklahoma at the Oklahoma Motorsports Complex. This event is actually being put on by us at Hail Trace, and all of the proceeds are going to Roofers in Recovery. So this is a charity event that we are doing for that. You can sign up to race, you guys can sign up to sponsor, and if you guys want to prove that you're the fastest roofer in town, go ahead and get out there to the Oklahoma Motorsports Complex. Sign up for either racing or sponsoring, and that can be done through our Linktree link that is also provided in this video. So that being said, let's just get into yesterday's storm reports. So we had quite a few through the desert Southwest as well as the Dakotas and Minnesota area. If we zoom on in there, we got a swath of hail that went through mostly South Dakota as well as a little bit in North Dakota and Minnesota. Got some 3 inches in there, so some big time hail through that area. And then down into Texas, Colorado, Oklahoma, plenty of wind to go around, lots of gusty winds through there. And then we also got some hail moving through the Texas Panhandle as well as far eastern Colorado, up to 2 inches through that area. So big time hail yesterday through rural parts of Colorado, Texas, and South Dakota. For today, we could also see some big time hail, possibly in some population centers. So we're going to talk about it. Current conditions, gorgeous across the country for most of us. We do have those convective storms that have been sitting through the southeast. We're used to it down there. And then if we get into our main risk area here, North Dakota, South Dakota, as well as Minnesota, Wisconsin, we've got a band of showers and cloudiness moving through South Dakota as well as Minnesota. And then another band of showers pushing its way through the International Falls area as well as far northern Minnesota. But our main risk area through the northern part of the state is going to stay sunny and clear for us, get plenty of that convective heating that we need for those storms. And then across the nation, speaking of heating, it is going to be hot and humid for most of us. What we're used to right now, we're sitting in the 80s across most of the country, 83 in Denver, 94 in Dallas, 91 in Houston. So very hot and muggy across the country. Check out those dew points, guys. We're sitting in the 80s and 90s for temperatures. We're sitting in the 60s and 70s for dew points, just meaning that it is, like I said, hot and muggy for most of us east of the Rocky Mountains. And then if we get into our instability that is forecast for later today through our risk area. So here we got Wisconsin, Minnesota, as well as the Dakotas. Plenty of instability to go around through the Dakotas, as well as just west of Minneapolis into this evening. This is by 7 p.m. Central Time. So we're getting plenty of that instability for those storms to feed off of, and that's going to linger, push its way up north by 1 a.m. We're seeing that cell of instability pushing up north towards Duluth by the early morning hours, and then as those storms continue to feed off of it, that should start to dissipate. So this is what we got for our significant hail based off of that. So we like to see those warmer values for that larger hail, and we've got some in the small to moderate values just west again of Minnesota, or Minneapolis, where we saw that cell of strong instability, so that makes sense there. And then we've also got some moderate values pushing through the northern part of Minnesota, and check that out as the evening goes on, guys. That little cell again pushes up towards Duluth with those larger hail chances possible in that area. So that's what this is going to look like on radar here. So we've got these storms that are going to start to form through the northern part of Minnesota late tonight. So doesn't look like much on radar here, but the cells are the forecast models are constantly picking up on this little guy right here. We got plenty of instability through the area, so depending on where this guy tracks, we could get hail up to 2 inches, possibly larger, as that pushes southeastward toward the Duluth area. And then for the northern Michigan area, we're going to have these storms that are continuously tracking over you guys in the Marquette area. This cell is going to move over you guys in the early morning hours, so it's going to be a very late night through the region as these storms continue to push southeastward. Loud thunderstorms, plenty of them through the Michigan area. And then we got to keep our eye on that cell that's expected to move through northern Minnesota, could produce some large hail along with it, as well as gusty winds. That's the story we've got in Maine here. So if you guys are up in the New England area, especially the far northern part, you could also get some severe thunderstorms today. However, it's mostly going to be that wind risk that we're looking at. So by 7 p.m., we've already got some loud storms moving through the central part of Maine. And then as the evening pushes forward, we're going to see those band up, move off of the coast, and you guys should have a quieter start to your morning tomorrow. However, a loud end to the day today. And then down into Virginia and North Carolina. Check this out, guys. By 5 p.m., we've already got a line of storms moving through the central part of Virginia, as well as another line of storms pushing through South Carolina and the southern part of North Carolina. Any of those could produce some gusty winds, some damaging gusts as they push eastward. Those are kind of lingering in the area until the early morning hours. So another long day for you guys in the East Coast area. So that leaves us with our hail forecast for today. This is what we have for you guys. So if you guys are anywhere from the very far western part of Michigan into the east central part of North and South Dakota, we could see hail through any of that region. We do have a pretty large swath here of golf balls, as well as a large swath of tennis balls that are moving through the northern part of Minnesota, as well as Wisconsin. Moving on in there, Duluth, you guys are at a moderate chance of seeing some hail, possibly very large hail, as that cell tracks through this area. Again, this is a large risk area, just depending on where that cell goes this evening. And then if you guys are in Fargo, looking like those are going to develop a little bit to your east, but if they can push back far enough west, you guys could get ping pong to golf ball sized hail. If those cells can push far enough south, Minneapolis, you can also get some $quarter to $half sized hail. And then Marquette, as those storms just keep on training over you guys tonight, you guys are in a moderate chance of seeing $quarters to $half into this evening. Then for a wind risk, it's going to be kind of the same for the Maine risk area today, as well as Maine and the eastern coast put into that wind risk area. So just jumping right in, we've got anywhere from northern Michigan all the way into Grand Forks, North Dakota. You guys could get some gusty winds into tonight. And then as well as Duluth, again, just as those cells push on through, you guys could get some collapsing cells producing some strong gusts. And then the northern part of Michigan, you guys could also get some strong winds with that band that's pushing through. Then for Maine, just any of those cells that push through could also give you guys some gusty winds as they collapse or as they really ramp up as well. You guys could get some outflow winds from that. And then finally down into Richmond, Raleigh area, you guys could also get some damaging winds tonight with those bands of storms that are going to push through into later this evening and the early overnight hours. So that's what we got for you guys today. Possible large hail in the Minnesota area, as well as wind risks to go around. And then into tomorrow, Minnesota, you guys continue to steal the show. So this is what we have going on for you guys into tomorrow. Now this looks pretty promising. Some cells popping up just north of Minneapolis area, staying isolated. That's what we want to see for that large hail. And then those are going to push southward into the evening hours. We've got a band of storms now pushing through La Crosse. So if any of those can stay singular, we could get some hail through La Crosse as well. And then those are going to push off to the southeast and weaken into the overnight hours. So we do have a promising area of hail into tomorrow as well for those in the Minneapolis to La Crosse corridor, as well as gusty winds possible through that area. So right now, it's looking a little bit iffy on where our instability overlaps, and that is what we like to see for those large hail, is where our instability parameters kind of overlap each other. Looking a little bit questionable right now, so we're going to leave you guys in the $quarter to $half size range. This could get updated into tomorrow afternoon. But Minneapolis and Sioux Falls, you guys could both get some $quarter to $half sized hail as well as gusty winds into tomorrow. Also the La Crosse area, you guys are in that risk as well. And then for winds, going to be basically the same risk area extended a little bit farther east into Michigan, where we get a band of storms pushing through. So if you guys are all the way from Sioux Falls, Minneapolis, La Crosse, or Green Bay, you guys could get some gusty winds as well with those storms as they move through your area. And then last but not least, as promised, a look into our tropics. So you guys have seen this depression, or sorry, not depression, but this disturbance that's pushing through the Atlantic, and it has been lingering there for the past few days, not looking like it's going to do anything too crazy. And right now, it is forecast to move over the southern part of Georgia and the northern part of Florida, so likely not going to develop much further since it's moving over land, getting that dry air that we don't like to see for any sort of tropical development. But if you guys are in the northern part of Florida, Jacksonville area, as well as southern Georgia, you guys could get some gusty winds as well as some localized heavy rainfall with this disturbance that's pushing through. So just something to keep in mind if you guys are in that area. But other than that, not much to talk about in terms of tropicals for today. So that's all we have for you guys for our forecast into this evening, and we're going to talk a little bit about tomorrow's at our noon update and tomorrow's forecast video. So make sure you guys follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And you can also hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you always catch us when we have live forecast coverage as well as live storm coverage. And then if you guys want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us at info@hailtrace.com if you would prefer, or just check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details on who we are and what we do. And we will keep you guys updated, as always, with those storm chances. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.